And yes, I know the title says top three things, but that's because it's top three plus two. Top five things are: number one, take profits early and often. So I will not teach you not to do that because you should. Number two, limit your loss is what you should do. Therefore, I will not teach you to not limit your loss. Number three, don't be emotionally attached to your trade is what you should do. So I will not teach you to be emotionally attached to your trade. And the bonus two are use risk management because without risk management, there's no point in trading. And the last one, don't use leverage. I will not. I will not teach you not to use risk management, and I will not teach you to use leverage irresponsibly. There is a time and place for using leverage, but it is certainly not at the beginning of your trading career when you have no idea what you're doing. You should be using leverage extremely sparingly. And that means you don't use leverage, generally speaking, because you should be building up an account from nothing or from very little when you're learning. And over time, building that up, you'll see you don't need leverage because the more you respect the small wins, the bigger your P&L will be overall. If you don't respect the small wins, you will end up losing a lot of money. It's not worth it. I don't recommend it. So instead, you got to do the five things that you ought to do, right? Which is the 3+2. Take your profits early and often. Limit your losses. Get out of bad trades as soon as possible. Don't stay in a bad trade. Just get out. Rip the band-aid off. Don't be emotionally attached to your trades. And it's all about risk management. If you don't have risk management, you have nothing. You're not trading. You're just wasting time and money. You're gambling. You may as well go to a casino. You'll have more fun. And don't use leverage unless you absolutely need to, or unless you really see. And again, when I say absolutely need to, if you need to, you shouldn't be trading in the first place. But like, if you need to, in the sense of like, this is going to make your position, whatever, statistically better, probabilistically better, etc., then by all means, you know, go ham, but with responsibility. Like, don't just mess about with it. Charlotte, Tef? Charlotte, Tef אותו? כן? חמוד, הוא נראה חמוד. איך קוראים לו? Rocky? Rocky, how you doing, buddy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? איזה כלב טוב. Hello, buddy. Who's a good boy? Yeah, you're a sweetheart. איזה חמוד. Oh, you're such a good dog. איזה כלב טוב. Oh, man. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a very good boy. Thank you. Thank you. שלום לך, שבת שלום. איזה כלב חמוד מגניב. איזה כלב מגניב. להתראות. I love these like big marble fur dogs. He's like a very big mixed dog, not a pure breed or anything. Absolutely gorgeous. I love dogs that look like that. Kind of marbly fur. Anyway, I know it's a distraction. But there you go. How are you doing? I'm doing okay here. I just wanted to tell you guys about, again, the top three things I will not teach you if you ever ask me to teach you about trading. By the way, I do teach people how to trade, but that's not the point of this video. I won't even like tell you how to do that. If you're interested, you can message me or something, but I'm not. I'm not going to give you the details here. The point is, right, of all of this is for you to remember. Hey, this very cool Halloween party. Um, remember, number one, right? I will not teach you how to not take profits early and often, because I will absolutely teach you how to take profits early and often. Hello there. Thank you for your emojis. I am doing okay. Thank you. Hope you're doing okay too. Hope you're doing well. So number one, I will not teach you to not take profits early and often. I repeat it again because it's important. It's probably the most important thing, right? If you do that over and over again, the main thing you do in trading, taking your profits early and often, and you do the next two things, you're golden. Number two, I will not teach you to not limit your losses. Right? I'm repeating it because if you missed the beginning of the video, or just because it hasn't sunk into your thick skull yet, I speak to you lovingly when I say that. We're all just hooga booga orangutans, or advanced apes rather. We're all just great apes who have slightly more developed chromosomes or genes than our cousins in the zoo, right? Or in the wild. So again, I will not teach you to not limit your losses, because you absolutely should limit your losses. That means when a trade goes against you, you get out of the trade immediately. You don't wait for it to maybe turn around and maybe go back in the, to where you're at zero, and then hope to God that it can maybe go back to positive. No. If you enter a trade and it's not immediately heading in your direction, like very soon after, you get out of the trade. You just get out. It's that simple. You just get out. You don't hang around a neutral position or a losing position. You just don't hang around. Because if you're in a neutral position and it's just hanging around neutral, guess what? The probabilities over time are that it will go against you. Because randomness. And because you're not as smart as the entire market that is going against you. And if you think, oh, they're not going against me. No, the market isn't going against you specifically as a human being, but the market is going to go against what you think it's going to do if you don't know what you're doing. And if you're sitting in a trade for a long time and it hasn't moved, and you're waiting for it to move, you should probably get out of that trade, because you will probably be wrong about the way it will immediately go when it finally moves. It's just a fact. Now you can say, well, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Hey, if what you're doing works for you, go do it. But if what you're doing works for you, you wouldn't be here looking at my video in the first place. You'd be just doing that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you wouldn't even tell anybody. How do I know? Because there's a lot of people who come to me, ask me how to trade, and I point them to our server where we teach people for free how to trade. And once they learn, the ones who are serious about it, they trade. And usually they go radio silent after a while. But they ask a lot of questions, and they get up to speed on how to trade by being very active and actively learning. And again, asking a lot of questions, testing a lot of things, showing a lot of what they've found, sharing information, the whole deal, right? But then after a while, when they're clearly good at what they're doing and they're making bank, they're working from home, trading, they go silent usually, which is normal, because they're not in the habit of teaching other people how to do this. That's not their interest. Their interest is racking and stacking. That's it. Rack and stack all day, every day. That's what they do once they learn how to do it. Right? Me, I'm a bit of a different creature. I like to show people how to do these things. Not everybody does. We get it. We, at Alpha Trading, we do something that is very unusual. We show you for free how to do this. Do we offer one-on-one training? Like I said, yeah, we do. But that's not, like, I'm not telling you how to do that here. And I'm not telling you should do that. That's only for people who prefer that, which is a very small percentage of the people, like, frankly, negligible. What matters is that you learn how to trade so that you don't have to follow anybody else's so-called signals. You don't have to follow anybody else's recommendations, because that stuff is all nonsense. You can't actually run a trade that you saw somebody else recommend even a moment ago, because you're not going to enter the same trade. You're just not, right? You're not in that contract that they are in. So you can't follow somebody else's trade. Now, you can use copy trade services, like on whatever your favorite social exchange might be, but copy trading is not a signal service. It's just literally you are doing whatever. Like the trader is managing your money, right? It's basically a cheap version of a stock brokerage account where the stockbroker manages your money as part of his or her trades. Your money is part of his basket of the money he's managing overall, right? So that's really all that is. It's a retail version, in other words, a cheap version of you using a professional trader who, in theory, has a good win rate and can yield you some profit if you actually use their service the way it's intended to be used, where they're just literally automatically running whatever trade they're running because you attach your account to their account and you give them the ability to, use X amount of your portfolio for whatever they're doing. So they don't like enter a separate trade for you. It's just literally when they enter their trade, it uses your available funds as well as theirs, as well as whoever else's accounts are copying them at the same time, right? It's like a big batch order, right? Effectively, yes, the contracts are run individually per account, but they're effectively run as one order, right, by the trader who is being copied. Now, those can work really well, but they can also fail miserably if the trader's having a bad day or week or month. If you're not managing that carefully, you can lose everything, which is why I say, number two, I will not teach you not to limit your loss, because I will teach you absolutely to limit your loss. That's what we teach people. Limit your loss. You got to know how to do that. And that means don't rely on systems that are automated where you can get screwed over, like in a copy trading account or a cheap ass bot account. Robot trading is not intended for you to make money. It's intended to make money for the companies that are selling you the robot trading service. Hello, oh good and hi. Do you take Bitcoin? Do I take Bitcoin? Do I trade Bitcoin? Yes, I trade Bitcoin. Or are you asking somebody else? You asking me? Yes, I trade Bitcoin. Absolutely. And the third thing, again, that I will not teach you is to be emotionally attached to your trades, because you should never be emotionally attached to your trades. If you are emotionally attached to your trade, you should stop trading that thing. And you should trade things you really don't care about. Right? It's really simple. That's all right there in that one line, all the psychology you need, right? That's your psych course for free. One line. Don't be emotionally attached to your trade, right? The problem is that too many people are, right? They're invested mentally, emotionally in the things they're trading, and that causes all the problems for them. That causes all the psychological issues and all that other nonsense, which is just excuses to justify why they've lost whatever they've lost and to make them feel okay with the fact that they've lost instead of won. You should not feel okay with losing, like on a regular basis. You should not feel okay with losing at all, to be honest, in that sense. It should disturb you. It should be a wake-up call anytime you lose that, oh, you screwed that up. Learn from this mistake, compartmentalize that education, and don't do that again. Right? And if you ever get close to doing that again, you whip that information out of the compartment, scan it with your brain out of the deep access memory that you have. You learn again, you brush yourself up on what is it you did wrong the last time and how can you avoid doing it again this time if you've already forgotten, and then you don't repeat that mistake. Right? You do whatever you have to do to not repeat that mistake. So whether that's you pull out of the trade immediately with no gain or even a slight loss, that is better than pulling out with a bigger loss. Right? You do what you have to do to get out, and you don't be emotionally attached to your trades. And that means also when you're in profit. You get out when you're in profit. You don't just wait to be in more profit. No. You take it when you got it. Because the returns are always distributing and mean reverting. Always. Especially on assets that trade 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like Bitcoin or any other crypto that trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which, by the way, is the vast overwhelming majority of them, right? There are a few exceptions of certain coins that don't trade on Friday or Saturday or Sunday because of religious stuff and other holidays because of religious stuff, but generally speaking, cryptos trade 24/7, which is why people say the casino is always open, right? Because the crypto casino is literally always open. Anyway, and again, the fourth and fifth things, you gotta have risk management, so I will not teach you not to have risk management. Because without risk management, you're not managing your risk. You might as well throw your money away. So I will teach you how to trade with risk management, because otherwise you may as well not do it. That is the number one thing, right? There is no taking your profits if you didn't manage your risk. There is no limiting your loss if you didn't manage your risk. There is no not trading emotionally if you didn't manage your risk, because all these things are tied together. That is the base for those three rules. And that's the rules. Those are absolutely the rules of trading. And the fifth thing is, of course, again, I will remind you, I will not teach you to use leverage irresponsibly. Right? I will teach you to use leverage responsibly. And again, for the most part, that means you don't use it. There's very few cases where you can justify using it, especially when you're learning. There's very few cases. Basically, you got to be trading the most boring commodity that moves nothing in a day and never has any crazy moves. Right? There's no reason to use it if you're starting to trade. And trading is not your source of income, your primary source of income. It's just something you do to learn, right? And you're just cutting your teeth in it. And when you trade something volatile like crypto, there's literally no reason to use leverage in that case, right? And by the way, the same goes for stocks or even FX, which FX can also be quite dull in their motions throughout the day. But even so, you don't need to use leverage on FX the vast overwhelming majority of the time. You can avoid that entirely. And even commodities don't all have to be used with leverage. There are some that move plenty fine without the use of leverage. Many don't, but some do. So that's why I say there's barely any reason ever to justify using it, especially when you're starting out. It's an easy temptation. It's too easy to fall for, but it's not going to help you long term, right? It's only going to hurt you because you're using basically an untrained version of a specialist handling dynamite who has not learned how to use it. That's what leverage is, right? It's like putting a stick of dynamite in your hand. Yeah, it can do a lot of amazing things. It can clear a lot of obstacles for you, but it can also create a whole lot more if you're not careful. So that's my 2 cents or my 2 Satoshis about it. Have I left? What? I don't know what you're referring to. But anyway, I wish you well. To everybody who wants to learn to trade, come to the Alpha Trading server, and you can learn for free there. That's not even me teaching you privately. You can just literally learn for free. So that's it. Anyway, I'll see you guys. If you're wondering where that is, it's alphatradinghq.com/discord. Okay, go learn for free. We'll teach you for free. But that's not my private tutoring or anything like that. That's just learn for free. Okay. See you guys later. Have a great weekend. Happy November. Happy Movember. May the trades be with you always. Peace.